The British Library also publishes a series of classic thrillers, but the focus here is on crime fiction, including many detective stories, together with some books where detection is not central to the story, rather than adventure stories. One can debate endlessly the distinctions between detective stories and crime stories, and between crime fiction and thrillers. But for a book such as this, a pedantic insistence on strictness in definition seems futile. The term mystery, disliked by some purists, is used here interchangeably with crime story. In the case of authors better known by their crime-writing pseudonyms, I've generally used those rather than the real names. Many classic crime novels have been published under more than one title. I have been selective in mentioning alternative titles, because although such minutiae are often valuable, one can have too much of a good thing. My choice of books reflects a wish to present the genre's development in an accessible, informative, and engaging way. So far as possible, I've avoided including spoilers, revealing solutions to mysteries. Michael Innes, a learned academic as well as a renowned detective novelist, argued in a review for the London Review of Books in May 1983 that, systematically, to conceal the core of a story is surely to hamstring effective critical discussion. I'm not wholly convinced, but in any event, suspect that most readers, like me, prefer not to have their surprises anticipated. My emphasis is on topics that will, I hope, appeal to readers with no more than a casual interest in the older detective stories. Although I've not written this book primarily with the most widely read connoisseurs of the genre in mind, I hope that even they will find books and trivia with which they are unfamiliar. People who enjoy classic crime fiction love making new discoveries, and one of my priorities has been to help them to indulge in some happy hunting. I've not attempted to list the best books of the period, nor is this even a selection of all my own favourites, which would certainly include more titles by Agatha Christie, and novels such as Dorothy L. Sayers' Murder Must Advertise, Henry Wade's Lonely Magdalene, Robert Player's The Ingenious Mr. Stone, and many others. The clue to this book is in its title. The aim is to tell a story. My account of the genre's development over the space of 50 years is highly selective. It could not be otherwise in a book of this length. This is not an encyclopedia. One would need much more space to explore every aspect of this fascinating branch of fiction throughout the course of one of the most turbulent half-centuries in the history of the world, but I hope that my references to scores of other books in the chapter introductions will encourage further investigation on the part of readers. The golden age of detective fiction is another familiar but vague concept that can be defined to suit one's purpose. Most people treat the golden age as roughly synonymous with the era between the two world wars, and I share that view. This book covers a much longer stretch of time than the Golden Age, though, and suggests ways in which keynote stories written before the First World War influenced those that followed, just as Golden Age mysteries have inspired writers of later generations, including some of today's bestsellers. This book overlaps with, but is very different from, the Golden Age of Murder, my study of the lives and work of members of the Detection Club in the 30s, published in 2015. Many of the books discussed here were written by members of the Detection Club, the world's first association of crime writers, an elite social network with a limited membership elected by secret ballot. But the Detection Club only came into existence in 1930, and some of the genre's foundation stones were laid before then. The titles chosen for detailed discussion are set in a wider context, but the book is designed so that those who prefer to do so may dip in randomly to read about specific topics, titles, or authors. This is not the first book to examine 50 or 100 noteworthy crime novels, but offers more contextual background to the chosen titles than its predecessors. Jacques Bazin and Wendell Hurtig Taylor gathered together their introductions to the books described in